Good afternoon, students. This is Dr. Morgan Phoenix coming to you from Stanley, Virginia. It's a beautiful sunny Sunday afternoon. Very, very warm outside, but also a bit of a cool breeze, so it's a beautiful day. I hope you're doing well. We're going into week 6 right now. The course is winding down toward the home stretch. I think that you should be feeling very comfortable about everything that's going on. The grading is very, very solid, and so everybody's on track. Alrighty. A couple folks stumbled a little bit with the case study number 1 in terms of the formatting, and as I have always said, the essay format, the text format for case studies is not always the most effective unless you're trying to convince a research team about your background work in a particular subject. But if you're a line administrator, a site administrator in a school where decisions have to be made and you want to move forward with the best possible programs, as Mr. Sims did not in Serge Romanich's case. He certainly was a very, very friendly person, and he was solid in his assurances, but his assurances were not backed up with very good decisions. They had many good programs in that school, okay, running, and that they could have chosen from, but just to place Serge Romanich in an age-appropriate classroom with no special supports, at least no special supports that seemed to be working, was a mistake. Okay, and the school psychologist had no clue about reading the nonverbal scores and comparing that as well. But here we go. Just very, very briefly for week 6, as you're moving forward, you've got a journal article critique and a discussion board. Use them to your best advantage. Okay, as you're working ahead, 2 things. One is the case study number 2 in week 7, and you're going to be choosing one case scenario out of the choices of 3. The document that you will be using that will give you brief, very, very brief, very sketchy information on the 3 scenarios. The document also contains many, many pages of valuable resource material following that. Please do not use any of those pages to turn your case study number 2 into a research paper. You can save that document for further use in your schoolwork. But choose one of the 3, give it your best shot, and once again, please do the SWOT in an outline format like this. I know most of you have done that. In fact, I'm sure that everybody who is watching this video did take my recommendation on that, and likewise the case recommendation should be very, very brief and should contain action words. Here's what we are going to do. And a good site administrator usually knows right off the top of their head, from experience and from research and from knowledge that's gained through study, what the best plan of action is. But they don't need to refer to the research. They need to just tell their folks in their team, and that should always be part of any good case recommendations. Is somewhere in there's got to be a team approach, and you know why? Because if there's a team, you minimize the risk of one person making a bad decision. Alrighty? There's the bird reminding me, I wanted this to be very, very short, and apparently it's run over already. And if you're working ahead to your final project in week 8, be sure you have the 8 headings. You must have all of them included. You gain points for each one of them. And as you're looking at the assignment instructions, you do not have to include every single subheading under the headings. You do not have to emphasize all of the 8 headings equally, because some will for example, if you were doing a project within a school, a given school, then the governance, you still have to get approval to do your program. So there are some governance questions and issues there, but you don't necessarily have to develop a board, for example, or an elected board of some kind from the community, or a parent, a teacher association kind of a gathering to decide how to run a school. For a program, it may be 2 or 3 people that will do the giving permission and providing the funding through the school board's funding, and also for the assessment as to the value of the program. Alrighty, but all the headings must be covered. If you're doing a PowerPoint, once again, if you're doing a PowerPoint option for your final project as opposed to the typical research paper, minimal text on the screen, please, please, please. And every now and then somebody will slip through with a detailed text presentation on PowerPoint slides. People ask always, how many slides? How many slides? I would say it would have to be a minimum of 8 or 9, because there are 8 headings. I certainly would want to see 2 headings occupy the same slide. You do have to have, if you are using any direct citation, you will have to have a citation page as well. You want a title page, of course. So you're looking at minimum of 9 or 10 slides. If you go over 15 or 16, it's starting to get to wear on the patience of your audience, and I would recommend that you stay certainly under 15 or 16 or 17 slides. That's getting to be too many. I've had as many as 40 plus slides, and as you know from your own experience, those are awful presentations for an audience. Okay, reminder once again, also the week 8 option. You have the option to minimize a little bit of your extra stress by doing a journal article critique. As usual, if you like that, that's fine. Journal article critique revision from an earlier week, but you must in that case indicate at the top of your paper that you're submitting that this is a revision of the week 4, week 5, or week 6 journal article critique, and you must also indicate what the grade is that you received on that. Otherwise you run the risk of getting a lower grade. Wouldn't that be awful? Okay, I guess it's clouding over, which is nice. Also, and you can also do a brief one-page summary case study from one of the 2 case scenarios that you did not choose in week 7. And that would be sort of fun to do, but it would require a summary, a SWOT, just a listing in a long sentence with 5 or 6 or 7 SWOT features and case recommendations likewise, also 5 or 6 recommendations. And I will give you a clue on the case study number 2. These scenarios have much fewer details or specifications than the Serge Romanich case scenario had. So you'll be looking very carefully for things that are not included there, and you have to go looking in research to find out what should be there. But it makes sense if you don't hear anything about an administrator or about a teacher, for example, then there's a problem. If that scenario is very bare, and that's where you're going to need to invest your time. That's it for today. Okay, I want to wish you well. I hope things are going well, and we'll leave it at that. I hope you're having a good time here. I hope you're working ahead on your final project, and the end is in sight, and you're doing well. From all of the indications that I have so far, things that have been turned in, it's really good. I want to thank you for being diligent and paying attention to the videos and to the assignment instructions. God bless you all. Hope you're doing well. Please be planning on serving in this world that is in turmoil over issues that can be defined in terms of a diversity, because it's a rare weave and a mosaic of people and ideas and beliefs, and we have to know how to navigate. Please do use that 5-step plan when you get into discussions with people who do not want to listen to what you have to say, okay? Especially in this political arena that's going on right now, where it's so sharply divided, in the religious arena of the world, and into all the political fallout from that. We have to know how to enter into discussion that is not damaging to our own reputation or to folks' trust in us as we try to speak as experts in the field of education and of leadership. Okay, we do not want to turn people off and send them away, because then we are marginalizing our own chances of success. Good luck with this, folks, and God bless you all. We'll see you next time, Lord willing. Bye bye.